Hello there. Yeah, I'm just trying to do a bunch of videos this week so I can have an excuse for not doing ones next week or the week after because I have a very weird schedule. Yeah, I kind of wanted to go through my math projects because I have a lot of them, and you know, uh, I want to go through them eventually, and it's going to go through one of them at a time. I'm not going to hit you with all five because that would be cruel. Um, so I figured we're going to start with the second oldest one, the Battle of Groningen. Groningen. I'm really sorry. I don't know what the pronunciation of that is, but the Battle of Groningen. It's the second ever map project that I built and the second one that I ever finished. The first one is Villa Rogati. That one's actually on the Code Battle 2 server. Yeah, that's actually pretty epic. And might go through that one later. There's not really too much to look at. This is a very small map. Although I might actually be thinking about building it and revamping it so that it's a little bit better. Anyways, let's look. Yeah, so welcome to the city of Groningen. Let me just walk all the way back to the starting point. Just ignore that. Yeah, so some background on the battle. This took place in April 1945, right at the end of the war. It was fought between Canadian and German soldiers. And this battle was really pretty important actually for Canadian military history anyways, in that it's the biggest battle to have happened. Ortona was the deadliest and the most vicious, but this one was certainly the biggest, with all 9 Canadian infantry divisions taking place. So, yeah. So now, the thing about this battle is that there were a few reasons as to why they were attacking the city. First of all, there was an artillery position up north over there. I don't remember where specifically, but there was an artillery barrage that they had to take. In addition, this was part of the campaign to get the supply lines out to the Dutch civilians during the war, during the last part of the war, because of things that the Germans were doing out there, so they needed to get supplies, and this was one of the main ways to do it. So, yeah. Now, the city was defended. I've already talked about the Canadian divisions involved, but the city was defended not really by any specific units. There were some SS, there were some Kriegsmarine, Luftwaffe, and I think some Hitler Youth as well. I think. I'm not exactly sure about that one. There's also normal Wehrmacht troops, but other than that, there wasn't any specific unit that was defending these positions. And I think, if I recall, the reason for that is that a week prior, the German High Command had actually withdrawn their troops, withdrawn an entire division from the area, so it was really just a ragtag group, a mix left behind. But even so, that's not to say that they did not put up a strong defense. They certainly did, and I think hopefully throughout this map tour, you'll see that that's reflected. Now, so this is Elskirts area here. Elskirts area leads into the city. This wasn't actually part of the original map, right? But it was suggested to put this in, so I put it in. Just ignore all these tanks. I suck at building tanks. I cannot stress this enough. Anyways, so yeah, gradually moves into urban area, and from the rest of it, it's going to be urban area. Now, I'm going to turn on render props and hope it doesn't kill my computer, and reload chunks, so it looks a lot better. Now that, as you Once you walk into this, you're going to notice there's a lot of rubble. The majority of the buildings have, to some extent, been damaged, and there's a good reason for that, because during the battle, 80% of the buildings were destroyed to some extent, leveled even. Entire city blocks were completely destroyed, and I hope to have conveyed that through this build. Keep in mind, though, that I didn't actually build it entirely at the end of the battle, so the reason why these aren't gone is because I want it to be sort of like you're progressing through the battle, and so there's already damage, but it's not all completely destroyed, not quite yet. And so that's why it's not all gone. There were actually a number of buildings that were set on fire by the Germans as they retreated through the city as well. So yeah, just progressing through here, you see this, lots of damage. Now we get to the canal. Now then, so if you don't know, Groningen is actually split into two sections, the old city and the new city. The new city, no, this is sad. The old city is more like a medieval sort of style sort of thing, with the roads being kind of weird in that, and it's surrounded on all sides by a canal of water, with bridges going over them, obviously, to get to the other side. How do you get to the other side of the canal? Bridges. Right. So, okay. Look at my frames. I'm just gonna fly down. So this bridge. So you'd probably think, the Germans would have knocked out the bridges or raised them. As a matter of fact, they didn't. This one was actually intact. I think a number of the other ones were destroyed, but this one was fine. So that's a little bit of cool stuff there. So you can probably guess I followed this specific path to the battle. There were 3 main attack points. The southern one, which is what I depicted here. There was one out to the northeast, and I think to the south over that way or that way. That's not northeast, is it? No, it's northeast. But I mainly focused on this direction of the battle, and I hope that is once again conveyed. So yeah, you go through the city, and you have. I forgot to destroy this. Oh man. You have you have this. You have more rubble, more destruction. Now here is actually where things get a little more interesting. So as you can see in the middle, there is a junction here, right? So it goes up here, that way, and that way. Oh man, my frames. I'm just gonna set myself down, and hopefully this improves. Yeah, I think it's improving. I now have more than 5 FPS. Alright, so during the assault, really after this point, the assault splits in 3. So there's one unit that heads down this way. Actually, I think it's like one division that heads down this way, another division that heads down this way, and another one that heads down this way. And as you'll see, it actually progresses like that. Now, I also want to point out a quick thing. I actually put basements here, and there are machine guns in the basements. Some of them, because this is something German soldiers actually did. They set up machine gun posts under places, in basements, and opened fire on soldiers. They didn't have any armor, but they did have machine guns, and they used them to quite a high extent of efficiency. Now then, yeah, let's head down this way. We have the the left prong of the attack. Heads along this way. You fight through here. You fight through there. There's a lot of destruction here. Mostly because the road's kind of thin. I probably could have made these thicker, but it doesn't matter. Fight through, fight through, fight through, and we end up here. This is called the Weismacht, and this was at the ending point, at least from what I can tell from the maps, of the left attack, part of the assault. And so, you have this. Yeah. So I can see this one being a difficult position to take if I had built it properly, which I don't think I did. We'll come back to the center attack later, but we have the right side where they were attacking along this way, and yeah, this one actually kind of cut short. I think they decided to take this section and then head into there. I think you should note, of course, that this is not to scale, so this Groningen map is way undersized. So in reality, it would have been split by kilometers. I think 1, maybe 3 kilometers. I don't know. But now you see the center attack goes this way, and we have finally the Grotsmarkt, the Great Market, and Stadhuis Groningen, which is this building here. This is actually where the Germans surrendered during the battle, so that didn't actually go further. There's actually a lot more to the city than I have here. It goes further that way, but they surrendered here. So kind of important that. There's a church up there. This is actually a pretty recognizable landmark. I don't think I did it well. These are the northern buildings. After the battle, these were all destroyed, so there's a lot of fire here. All of them were just leveled, gone. That building there is actually the Schultenhuis, which was the home of the SS secret police. So this also was destroyed, but it is a pretty significant location. So yeah, that's the Battle of Groningen. And looking back on this map, to be honest, after I've progressed, even though it's only been like a few months, I'm actually kind of disappointed in how I built, and I hope that I get better at it. And I hope that as I do my other videos showing my other maps, that it does show that I have indeed progressed in my building abilities. If I will remake this, probably not. I'm not very good at urban builds, I'll be honest. So, yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.